Hi there, it's Nick back on the camera again one more time. Hi there, how the heck's it going? It's great to be back as is traditional. Right, before I get into the bulk of this video, and yes, this is a completely unrehearsed video. I haven't even really thought about what I'm saying, so you're just going to get it straight out, raw and the rest of it. I do apologize for doing this straight on the webcam, but I don't really have time to do, a proper full video, edit it, and all the rest of that right now. So I'm just coming straight out with this. Before I get on with the body of the video, check out my Get Me Off Grid video blog, because essentially that one's now been approved for partner status, of which I'm incredibly proud. And if you could go and have a look there and watch some videos, rate, favorite, share, and all the rest of it, that would be absolutely splendid. So I'm now running 3 partner channels. There's this one, there's Nick Dutch Tarot, where I do my weekly tarot readings, normally coming out anywhere between Tuesday and Thursday, which is, of course, once a week. And of course I've got this one here when I'm doing most of my regular rambling. So yeah baby, 3. Let's see how many more I can get going, and just like build up the media empire of Nick Dutch. But on a different note, shall we say, I was asked about the role of women in occultism. I wasn't quite sure what to say or what to think about that one particular question, because this whole movement, so to speak, is driven by curiosity, and a person with one type of anatomy has got just as much a right to have curiosity as another person with a different anatomy. So yes, there is a role for women in occultism and magic. I think Peter J. Carroll, and I think it was Lebanon and Psychonaut, said something along the lines of, I apologize for just using the male pronouns and male words here. This is not to exclude women, this is just to follow on within tradition, because there is a bit of kind of like a presupposition going back back to the days of Alphonse Louis Constant, and probably before, that everything is described as the magician being male, or the occultist, being male. It is he who does this. And yeah, this is totally daft. The individual who's getting involved with all of this stuff is someone who's doing meditation and doing religious exercises, alright, and building themselves up within certain experiences over a period of time. What I will say, and this is not a black and white statement, okay? What I will say is that I think that women do look at experiences of an apparently or allegedly spiritual nature from a slightly different point of view than men, and I think it's important to know. It's important to understand and recognize. I think that men try typically, but this is not clear cut. Each and every single man has to follow this role. Each and every single woman has to follow this role, because it doesn't quite work like that, because we're all human and we're very varied and complex. But men try and look for an intellectual meaning and try and approach something as if it was a scientific experiment. Women have a much more emotional understanding, an emotional intuitive understanding, and almost a desire to explore a subject using randomness. Let's just see what happens if this, okay, rather than I'm going to put this factor in, we'll have this control and the rest of it, which is the way a man would look at the situation. And as such, the conclusions that both men and women can get when they have, let's say, a strange experience occurring in meditation can be dramatically different. Alright, so I think it's more important that men and women discuss their strange experiences of a apparently supernatural nature or a religious nature together, and do so openly and calmly. That would help both genders to bring about a level of understanding of each other, understanding where each other's coming from. But we humans, we are complex. So I've noticed that there are some what I would regard as being negative attributes in both religious and atheistic groups, and that is that those who know the least believe that they are more likely to be correct. and that can damage, in my humble opinion, the process of the search for the truth. And then the tendency to get liberally minded with someone who you know is incorrect may also interfere with the progress of searching for the truth. Because, you know, well, people are free to have their own beliefs. Yes, that's absolutely correct. But there's also a bit of an imperative, if one is to consider oneself to be practicing an art and science of change in conformity with the will, to not be belief driven, or at least to try and move away from that as far as is humanly possible. And that involves moving more towards what you might regard as being male analysis, and moving a little further away from what you might regard as being female analysis. But women notice some things. There's certain qualities of experiences which I have noticed and I have seen that women tend to notice, which men just don't seem to. And they're very important little details which can shed even more light on the natures of the experiences and what they could possibly mean on a personal level, a psychological level, a theological level, and hypothetically a spiritual level. The observation the women make are brilliant at times, and I think that not enough attention is paid by male occult practitioners to things that women say, or things that women say that they believe in, as far as sensing energy between people, as far as sensing emotions within people, or the energy of a situation, so to speak. And there's often a kind of like a connection between what a woman might say about a particular variety of experience and what I might then choose to try and ascertain through my own experiential type so-and-so, you know, my own thing. Women are often, I mean, they can, or they appear to be both transmitters and receivers at times, but they seem to receive an awful lot of sensitivity and hyper-awareness that men often lack. I mean, when a woman is skilled, is educated, rational, and very articulate, good at expressing themselves intelligently, and has a rational level of skepticism, and can move away from belief when necessary for the purposes of trying to understand her own experiences, she will be phenomenal. Alright, that's your ideal female occultist, in my humble opinion. There's things, you know, that, I mean, it's just the same as with everything else. There's things that one person can excel at that another person can't. There's things that one person can do brilliantly that another person might struggle with. But this is on the human level and on the level of personal skill, which can be variable, rather than physical laboratory, you know, science and that kind of level of reliability. Because when you're dealing with all of this occult phenomena, you're dealing with it on a level of sensitivity, perception, emotion, understanding, and so on and so forth. Yeah, women are important and or essential to occultism. Maybe the analysis or analytical tools that some women, not all of them, but some women use could be improved. But also the sensitivity that some men have could also be substantially improved in a much more female way. I don't know whether any of this ramble makes any sense, but, you know, women are really, really, really essential within the occult communities.